What's up, everyone? This is the Next Take podcast with Mikel and
Tanyka.
we have conversations on different topics. So this is another monthly update on our Netflix series on what we watch for the whole entire month. Um, so yeah, Tanika.
Yes.
So basically, we're just going to explain to you guys, like usual, like what we watch, basically the whole entire month. So Tanika usually has three. I usually have three. And basically that's how it is. And then towards the end, like usual, we basically will tell you about what's to come and what's to basically what am I missing, Tanika?
Yeah, we'll do that. We also do like honorable mentions of stuff.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
our three usually is
Hmm.
we'll talk more in depth with.
Hmm.
Um, this time around too, I do have a couple articles too that I'll talk about. It's Netflix related, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we're also going to talk about you. Did you finish it though?
No, I didn't finish it. So
Oh,
just
okay. So
just just talk about it. Just talk
are you
about it.
sure?
There, yeah. I just spoil it. I don't
Okay.
really care. So
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
it's all good.
All right.
Hopefully we don't spoil too much for the people out there that
Well, we
didn't
will
watch it.
we'll do a spoiler alert. We'll put a timestamp in there
Hmm.
so in case you
Hmm.
haven't finished it, you can
Hmm.
save it and go
Hmm.
to the next thing.
Right.
Maybe we'll do it more towards the end so that, you can stop at a certain point and
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Would you like to go first? Because I'm just gonna be short for me because I'm just gonna be saying the title and telling you how good it is. But I know you're better at me explaining stuff than I.
yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do our segments though. So I don't know if you have any honorable mentions, but I'll do like the three that I'm gonna
Hmm.
talk about.
Hmm.
So the first one I watched, it's called The Four Seasons. We did mention as this was coming out last month. This was with Tina Fey, Steve Carell, others. It was a really, really good show. So basically, um, the gist of this one was you kind of these friends, I think they all knew each other from college. They all get together quarterly, so each season has four seasons. Um, and it was kind of like kind of what happens if one of the friends ends up splitting. So it's not
Hmm.
really much of a spoiler there with that, but because it was kind of in the description already, but kind of what happens was when one of those couples end up splitting up and kind of the dynamics of that. Um, I won't say anything else besides that because let me tell you, there was a twist at the end that I was not expecting. Um, so yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Would you suggest it to or recommend it to like people that
Um, yeah, I would, and I think there will be a second season.
Mhm.
I think it's supposed to be limited, but I think there will be a second season. Yeah,
Okay.
I would recommend it for sure. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Fred and Rose West, a British horror story, which again, we did talk about. This was coming out too. Um, this like last one we talked about it. Um, it was really good. I did enjoy it. It's good in the sense of they talked about like each person kind of separately, and because again, if you know the story of Fred and Rose West, um, you know that they killed a lot of people, mainly young girls, including their own daughter, um, and buried them in their garden. And I think also in The Cellar as well. And it was good. It was a good documentary. I did enjoy it. So yeah, if you're interested in like true crime, then you'll enjoy it. Um, so there was that one. And then the other one that I will talk about as well, which again was another true crime one, was the Oklahoma City bombing. American Terror is what it's called. It's just the one, like it's not like a parter, like a three-parter or anything like that. It's an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Um, again, if you know anything about the Oklahoma bombing, they do talk about that it is a lot more victim focused. Just as you know, just so you know about that, it's more victim focused, which is fine. It's how it should be. Um, and I do wish they talked a little bit more about like Timothy McVeigh. They talked a little bit more about the other two idiots as well. They talk a little more about the trial. They didn't do that. But like, do you know anything about the Oklahoma bombing, Michael?
I heard some stuff, but like basically, no, no. I heard about the Boston one, but I haven't heard of the
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
because the Boston one was more recent. So, like, we
Yeah.
were, you know,
Mm, mm.
we remember that because we
Yeah,
were old
yeah,
enough to remember that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, the Oklahoma bombing happened, I believe it was in 96.
Mm,
And it was in retaliation to people believing, or I should say this idiot, believing that America's going to take your guns away. And it was in retaliation to Waco.
mm.
Um, you, you know about Waco, right? Because I feel like I really like, we don't have enough time to talk about all that, but you know about
Uh,
Waco.
Waco, not much, no, not much. I
All
heard
right.
of it, but not much.
Okay. If you don't know anything about Waco and you're interested, there is a documentary on Netflix. You can watch that to get the background on it. I'm not going to talk about Waco right now, but yes, Timothy McVeigh ended up bombing a federal building in Oklahoma City. 106, I think 168 people passed away due to
Wow.
this, including 19 children, because there
Mm,
was a daycare in the federal building. So,
mm,
yeah. Apparently,
mm,
also, which I did not know about, I heard actually in a podcast talk about this, but was a memorial that was done. It was very community focused. They never talked about the memorial, which I don't understand why they didn't do that. But anyway, it was decent. It was good. For me, I do understand there's a Hulu documentary that came out around the same time. I don't have Hulu, so I'm not even watching it. But actually, I don't. I think we get Hulu through Disney, but I don't know. So apparently that one's really good, and Bill Clinton actually is one of the interviewees on that documentary. Um, because he was president at the time. So
mm, mm,
yeah. But anyway,
mm.
those are my three. Michael, what about you?
So great three for you, Tanika.
Mhm.
My three, well, I just had two basically. Uh, so I'm not a guy that's into too much of the romance and because a lot of like romance movies, TV shows are like the same. You go to the man, you fall in love in the workplace, then you go on a date, etc., etc. They end up breaking up, and then you see another, you see that guy with a different girl, and then you just like jealous, and then and then you reach blah 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 blah. I mean, somehow you get back together again. Like that's basically the whole just of a romance film or TV show. Um, so I watched this TV show called Forever on Netflix, and it's based on two black young childhood friends falling deeply in love, experiencing joy and headaches a first romance, and I gotta say, it is pretty good. It's different, really different. Um, Written really well. Do you know that Woody Harris is in this, Tanika?
Woody Harrelson?
Harrison, yeah.
No, I didn't watch it.
He's in this. He's in this. He's in there.
Okay.
He's like he owns a restaurant in this. So basically, um yeah. So I don't want to tell you guys too much, but it's basically uh what I said in the description. Two teens going through, struggles in their relationships, from, from like, elementary school, high school, and going into college. And, I don't want to like spoil it. It's good. You guys should watch it. And yeah, basically, the acting's good. Yeah, that's basically it for that. Another one is basically a documentary about shooting guards. NBA shooting guards have got in trouble in the past. Uh, uh, Basically documented on Netflix, and so that's what that is about. And that it's nothing too deep about that documentary. It's just basically showcasing a lot of the NBA players or NBA shooting guards that that got in trouble in the past with like thugs and violence, etc. And yeah, that's pretty much the two uh shows I watched. And basically the next one I recommend is Weak Heroes. I don't know if I recommend that in the last month.
Mhm.
I don't think I did, or
I
if I
don't know.
did, then yeah, I don't think I did. If I did, yeah, it's a K drama. It's pretty good. High school K drama. I haven't watched too much. I've seen trailers. It looks really good. I love K dramas, by the way, and I'll probably be watching that next week. Hopefully, if I have time to do that. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all my two shows that I watched this month. Forever and Shooting Guards, I believe. Yeah, on Netflix.
Okay.
I re- I would recommend those shows.
So I have my honorable mentions, and you'll notice one of these are in my honorable mentions because it's for a reason. So the first one, though, I watched is called A Deadly American Marriage. Again, this is a true crime one. It's kind of one of those ones that aren't always talked about. Um, but if you listen to or watch a lot of true crime, you may know this one. Um, this was one that was kind of like the husband was killed by his wife's father. You don't know, like, was it provoked? Was it planned? Like, what
Yeah.
happened? It's kind of
Hmm.
one of those weird stories. It was really good, though. So I would recommend it if you want to take a listen to that one.
Sorry, Tanika.
Uh-huh.
I know we said Harrison.
Mhm.
We said Woody Harrison. It's not Woody Harrison. It's Wood Harrison.
Wood Harrison. Okay.
You remember the black guy and Remember the Titan?
No,
You'd never watched Remember the Titans?
it's been a really long time. Years and years and years.
Oh,
So,
he
no.
he is like the father of the son that falls in love. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's yeah.
It's a
So
long time ago for me, so I don't remember.
yeah. Yeah. You probably will recognize him as soon as you see him. But go
Maybe.
on, go ahead. Sorry, I apologize because like I didn't want the folks to be confused.
Okay.
Woody Harrison, and Woody Harris. So Wood Harris. My bad.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, another one is American Manhunt. That was the Osama bin Laden one. Um, I don't need to talk about what that's all about, but it's actually a really interesting documentary.
Mm,
Um, and kind of how they did it, all of that. Now, of course, they do talk about like what led up to that, which is obviously 9/11. So there is a lot of 9/11 footage in this.
Mhm.
But definitely when they got to the point of like trying to find him, like there was obviously years and years and years leading up to they were pretty much trying to find him from, 2001.
Mhm.
Um, and kind of led up to like how they found him and basically when they actually did it. It was really interesting. Like,
Mhm.
they were expecting this to be like the American soldiers going in there. They were expecting this to be like, we're all dying in here. As long as Osama bin Laden is dead, though, we're all dying in here. And they all got out alive. It was really incredible. So I do recommend that one. I watched another one called, it's a part of, I guess, like a series called Untold, which
Mhm.
I've never heard of before, but this one was Untold, the murder of Aaron McNair, which I think he was a football player back in the 90s, I believe, or early aughts. And he was a married man, but he was killed by his mistress, or they suspect he was killed by his mistress. Because he had, I believe, two bullet holes in the head, and then she had one. Yeah, she made it, wanted to make it look like it was like a murder, but it's more
Mhm.
like a murder suicide. Anyways, it was interesting. This wasn't one that came out last year, but
Mhm.
it was decent. And my last one that I'm putting in the honorable mentions was the Fair Street prom queen, bleh, prom queen
Mhm.
um
It's all
movie.
good. It's all good.
I didn't like it.
Confident. I think I heard of it.
Yeah, the new Fear Street movie that was coming
Mm.
out.
Mm.
I didn't like it.
Mm.
I did not like it. I it was good for what it was,
Mhm.
but I think when you're attaching, and I'm sure I know it's because of the books, but when you're attaching Fear Street to it and you give me masterpieces like
Mhm.
the first three, and then you give me that,
Oh, so the new one that came
yeah,
out.
yeah, it was
You
not
didn't
that.
you didn't like it.
Nope,
We
nope.
talked about that. Yeah. Oh
No,
wow.
it just came out, so we didn't talk about it, but we talked about it was
Oh no,
coming
we
out.
like
But
we like
yeah,
put it on a note. It was
yeah, we talked about it was coming out.
yeah.
I didn't like it. I did not like it. I thought it didn't have it didn't have any of those killers in the movie.
So did you feel like it
That's
was
what I
like
wanted.
so did you feel like it was like, rushed in a
No, it
way
wasn't.
or
No, it was. I don't think it necessarily was rushed. I think for those people who know these stories,
mm,
it's great for you. I
mm,
don't know these stories.
mm,
So I didn't know this was about. It was basically, I don't want to give anything away, but it was basically humans killing humans. I don't want
mm,
humans killing humans. I want Satan's demons coming down and killing humans. I wanted Ruby. I wanted Skullface. Well, Skullface wouldn't have been in there, but I wanted Camp Nightwing Killer. That's what I wanted.
mm.
And that's not what I was given. So I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So that's me. So
No.
it's just a quick take for me. The only thing that I didn't mention is I was also watching that Vietnam um War one on Netflix. I haven't finished it yet. But it's interesting so far, but yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
Mm, mm,
Um so yeah, as I said, I had some articles I was gonna go through. So um very quick at the end of the day, but um for my Bridgerton fans like me, I think we kind of know this already anyways, but in case no one saw this, because I did happen to find this on Facebook, they released a Lady Whistledown's society paper for the new season potentially coming. So
mhm.
I'll just read it. I'm sure, Michael, you never watched Bridgerton, right?
No, no, I
No,
haven't, no.
okay.
Definitely not. No.
Okay, so dearest gentle reader, and pretend I sound like Julie Andrews, but anyway, rarely is this author granted the opportunity to share with you such information. It is with great pleasure I can announce Bridgerton shall return for season 5 and 6. Do
Mm,
celebrate accordingly. And in the meantime, do prepare yourselves for Bridgerton season 4 shall debut in 2026. So we have to
mm,
wait a little bit on that. It would seem this author is going to be quite busy. Yours truly, Lady Whistledown.
mm,
So we have 3 seasons at least that's been slated for the next little bit. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, it's gonna take some time until we get that next season, which will be next year. But
Okay,
that
that's
aside,
good.
yeah.
Good stuff.
On the sad front, though, Netflix has announced a few shows that are not going to be renewed for another season. So there's 4
Mhm,
different shows. One of them I do watch, so I'm really sad about it. But
mm,
I mean, this particular show, I mean, it's going to have to come to an end anyways. So those 4 shows are The Empress, The Sandman, is ending with their upcoming seasons that are coming. And then Territory and The Recruit have been canceled and will not get a final season. So, yeah, if you don't know anything about these shows and you maybe want to hop on, I can do quick little synopses on these shows. Like I said, I do watch The Empress,
mhm,
and that is based on a true story. So, like I said, eventually that has to come to an end.
mm,
But The Empress is a German historical drama television series based on the life of Empress Elizabeth of Austria. It was Netflix's second most watched series worldwide for 2 weeks and the seventh most popular non-English series of 2022, but it will not be renewed past its third season, which is upcoming. The Sandman is an American fantasy drama television series based on the 1989 to 1996 DC comic book. While it was renewed for a second season, it will not be renewed after 2 seasons.
mm,
Territory is an Australian neo-Western drama, but it was canceled by Netflix this year after just 1 season. The Recruit is an American spy adventure television series that follows a CIA lawyer who becomes involved in massive international conflicts with dangerous parties after an asset tries to expose her relationship to the agency. So,
mm.
yeah. Um, so sad that those are being canceled. Um,
Right. Yeah.
it is what it is.
Mhm,
Um, and as mentioned, I did kind of say this before, but for those people who watched the 4 seasons and you enjoyed it, and you're
mm,
like, holy, what's gonna happen? Is it coming back? It is being renewed for a second season. It might take a little bit before that comes,
mhm,
just in terms of like, negotiation processes and everything, right? So, but that is supposed to be coming. And one more thing before we hop into what's to come, like officially what's to come for Netflix next month. Again, for the people who love to watch reality television, The Ultimatum, Queer Love, which is the superior version of The Ultimatum, is coming back for season 2. I believe it's coming out on June 25th. And if you want to hear coverage on that, you can hop onto my other podcast where I'll be talking about it. But that's it for the articles.
mhm.
Anything else we want to talk about before we hop into what's to come officially for Netflix?
No, no.
Okay.
No, no. No.
All right. Ooh, there's one that's out right now. The Tylenol murders. So again, if anyone knows about true crime, that's interesting. So that I'm waiting for my on my list. Okay. So there is one called Trainwreck, Mayor of Mayhem, coming on June 17th. Oh, okay. Ready for the description of this one? What do you think it's
Like,
about when I say train wreck, mayor of mayhem? Think about it. No
oh,
cheating.
yeah, no, raw for
Yeah, Rob Ford scandalized Canadian politics as the brash yet beloved mayor of Toronto until an infamous video
yeah.
of him smoking crack sparked his downfall. Remind
Oh.
me on that.
So is it just based on his mayor term or personal
I
his personal
imagine it's
life,
going to talk
or
about
is it just
everything. If
okay?
I talk about everything, I don't know. Like I can't say. It just that's the description that's given.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess we'll just have to watch and see. And I think we'll
Hmm.
definitely talk about that. Oh, and we're supposed to be
Hmm.
talking about you at the end. I said we will do it at the very end in case people want to bow out. Okay. Another one is Department Q. This is actually
Hmm.
coming out tomorrow as this is being released. So it's a brash but brilliant cop becomes head of a new police department where he leads an unlikely team of misfits in solving Edinburgh's cold cases.
Hmm.
Um, Titan, oh God, Titan, the Ocean Gate disaster. Remind me on that one. Ocean
Hmm.
Gate's Titan Taurus submersible imploded in 2023 on a deep sea dive to the Titanic.
Hmm.
Yeah, this documentary details how a bold vision ended in tragedy.
Hmm.
We have another one, another train wreck. So I guess this is like a series they have. This one's called Trainwreck, the Astro World Tragedy. Remind me on that one too. This is gonna be lit for June. Featuring exclusive interviews with survivors, paramedics, and festival staff. This documentary examines the 2021 Astro World tragedy and its aftermath. The Waterfront coming on June 19th. A prominent North Carolina fishing family wades into treacherous waters to keep their crumbling business empire afloat.
Hmm.
The Survivors, this is a limited series coming on June 6th. 15 years ago, the loss of three young people tore the sleepy seaside town apart. Now, the mysterious death of a young woman dredges up the past. That sounds interesting, actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Too Hot to Handle Spain is coming on June 13th. I don't need to tell you about that. I think a lot of us kind of know the premise of that. Um, A Widow's Game coming on Friday. Um, so when a man is found dead, the investigation shatters his widow's perfect facade and exposes a hidden double life in this thriller based on real events. Uh, Olimpo, I think is what it's called, coming on June 20th, when a swimmer collapses at a high performance sports center. I think it's Amia investigates the extreme risk her fellow athletes are taking to feed their ambition. There's one coming out today as it's coming out called The Academy, if you're interested in that.
Uh-huh.
Um, this one, I think it's called Cocaine Smugglers Air at 30 Feet. I don't, I just kind of messed up how they did the title here, but it's a limited series coming on June 11th. 2013, four Frenchmen are arrested in Punta Cana with 700 kilograms of cocaine. None fit the trafficker profile. This documentary asks who was behind the bust. There's a new season 3 of Ginny and Georgia, coming on June 5th. Um, Aquaman, the original one, I guess, or the Lost Kingdom. I don't know which one that is. But who cares? Because Jason Momoa was in it. Um, that's coming
Hmm.
to Netflix.
Hmm.
Sarah, the Woman in the Shadows, coming on June 3rd. The suspicious death of her son pushes a former secret agent back into action, investigating a series of crimes that grows increasingly sinister. Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal, coming on June 4th. I think that's going to be about basketball, so we don't need to talk about what that's going to be about.
Hmm.
One called, Tyler Perry's Straw, coming on June 6th. This one looks like it has Taraji P. Henson in it. Um, so what will be her last straw? A devastatingly bad day pushes a hardworking single mother to the breaking point and into a shocking act of desperation. Sounds interesting enough. Has real people in it. Joyride, which I don't. Oh, this I think this is a Netflix one. So this is coming on Sunday. If you're interested in that one, uh, The Heart Knows, which is I think about like a heart transplant situation, coming on Friday. First Love, coming on June 5th. Um, Um, I'll read description quickly. So, on a summer trip with his family, teenager Antoine encounters new found feelings and dark secrets after he meets Anna, the girl vacationing next door. Equalizer 3 is coming to Netflix on Sunday too. What else do we have here? Oh, this is an old movie, Boys on the Side. That's an old ass movie that's coming on June 7th if you want to watch that. Um, what else do we have? Grenfell Uncovered. I think this has something to do with a fire that happened in London. So
Huh.
that is that. I already talked about the Tylenol murders. It's out now. And that's it. That's all of
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about or briefly talk about you a little bit and
Yeah, we can talk about you. So
kind of get
again,
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
if you haven't watched the most recent season, you want to bow out now. You're not missing anything after this. You can stop listening. But spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the season 5. So, where
Mm.
have you ended up? Like, where's the last,
Uh,
what season are you on? So I know where to go here.
I'm still on four. I'm still on like the fourth one. It's okay.
Yeah, no, but
Just
I just need
briefly,
to
yeah,
know what I need to
yeah,
say so you understand.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Just saying it. Just say anything. It don't matter. Just you don't have to like tell all that.
no.
Just
I just need
just
to know
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. That's all I needed to know.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So you obviously know he has a thing with Kate, correct?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you got to the end of it, but you'll see at
Mm,
the end, they actually get married,
mm,
at the end of the season.
okay. All right.
So, and they move back to New York. I won't say anything else
Mm-hmm.
about season 4. So you're at least, I'm not spoiling you too much on how they get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in season 5, he gets Henry back. They have this little family. She has she gets the business that her father owned. She's like head of that, and she has these other family members, basically his other kids, who are also like on the board of um, of the company. So with that, there's people who uncle that may or may not make it past the first episode, because he's basically trying to out Kate for certain things that have happened. Again, I don't know what you know in terms of season 4 and kind of her skeletons in her closet, but whatever that
Mm-hmm.
was, that does come back because of his uncle trying to like expose her, and Joe ends up
Right.
killing him. Makes it look like he committed suicide. Anyways,
Hmm.
um, but with Joe, he kind of, he bought back the library. He didn't open it or anything. It's just kind of somewhere he goes and he's like writing, and the whole bit. So while he's in the library, the library, the bookstore, he kind of can tell there's someone in there. Comes back another time and he meets Bronte, who has been kind of breaking into the bookstore. Um, Long story short, he offers her a job. And of course, with offering her this job, so he opens back up the bookstore. He falls in love with Bronte and they have an affair. He's locking Kate's sisters in the cage downstairs in the basement in the meantime. That's all kind of like happening, right? And then the twist. Okay, so before we get to the twist, I'm kind of with everybody in terms of Bronte just didn't do it for me. Um, initially, really ever, but Bronte didn't really do it for me in terms of like so the lead women that he's had. We've had
Mhm. Mhm.
Beck, we've had Love, just top tier, really. And then like the ex that showed up randomly as well, like top tier
Mhm.
people, and his love interests have been top tier, kind of,
Right, right, right.
Bronte just doesn't do it for me. But besides the point, Bronte is supposed to be like a writer as well. She wants to be like a playwright and stuff like that. So they connect on that. He's fallen in love with her. He's ready to divorce Kate. He's done with her. He's over it. But the problem is that Kate knows he's cheating on her.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I know you're a psycho, so I'm gonna get custody of Henry. It's a whole thing, and Henry's like the thing that he's just not gonna. You're not gonna mess with him when it comes to his son. But then the twist. So Bronte has these friends that are supposed to be part of the world, but she has this boyfriend, quote unquote, that may be a little bit abusive or is coming across that way that he's abusive. Twist of the century, Bronte knew Beck, went to school with Beck. So when Beck dies, she's like, I know it's Joe. I know Joe did it. I don't think Uncle Joey's the one that did it. I don't remember what his name was in the movie in the show, but so we'll call him Uncle Jesse. So yeah, it's just like I know he didn't do it. So she kind of gets into this community with people and finds out she finds these two people. The guy pretends to be the boyfriend. He's not actually her boyfriend, but he is the son of the therapist who was accused of killing Beck. So it's this weird twist. Joe doesn't obviously know what's going on, but when she like takes off and is like, don't bother following me, it's done, it's over, blah, blah, blah. Of course, he follows her, finds her, the quote unquote boyfriend shows up, and Joe kills him in front of everybody. And clearly things have gone downhill. So that's kind of what's happening. Bronte's still kind of sucked in with Joe, thinking, oh, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he's actually innocent. Maybe I got this all wrong because she's falling in love with him. And eventually she is able to come to terms with, no, this guy's a psychopath. He killed her. I'm going to get him. I'm going to be the one that gets him. And
Mm.
they like take off with each other so he can get away because people are onto him.
Mhm.
But like he then figures out, oh, she's on to me and tries to he almost killed her.
Mm.
How she didn't die, I don't know, but she didn't. And he goes to prison. He goes to prison, and that is the end of Joe Goldberg. Here's
Mm.
the other thing. Do you remember the love interest that he had when he was married to Love during season 3?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mixed girl.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
She
do.
c- she comes back for season 5. So we thought she was dead. She wasn't dead. He definitely thought she was, but she
Mhm.
wasn't dead. So she comes back. And there's also a person who's a part of season 4. So I didn't mention her. But I won't even say who she is because I don't want you to, I want you to finish it. But, there's also a person in season 4 who comes back. So it's basically like they lock him in the cage and they bring back the girl from season 4, Kate, and the love interest from season 3. I was actually hoping Beck was coming back too because that would have been fantastic. But I think she's
Mm.
actually dead. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist. That's it in a nutshell, really. I left tons out, but
Yeah, yeah.
the thing I think the thing is that people really had issue with was we don't want Joe in prison. We don't want Joe in prison. It didn't seem like a satisfying end.
Right,
And that part for me is what I struggle with because it's like I either wanted Joe to get away or Joe to be dead. That's kind of the only ways that I feel like I would have been okay with it. And maybe again, I'm just a horrible person, but I would have
mhm.
preferred if Joe got away.
Oh, he is a well, there's only 2 ways he would've well,
There's
in
two
my
ways, I
idea,
suppose. Either he gets away with
in
it and
my
he
opinion.
runs
Yeah.
off and goes somewhere else, or he gets killed. That's
Well,
how I
he's
felt like this had to
well,
go.
he is a murderer as one,
Well, of
and
course, he is
then
a murderer,
yeah,
but
so, like,
this is
I
fiction, so we can have fun with it.
yeah, I know, but, like,
Obviously, in real life,
technically
I want you dead
techni
or in prison, right?
yeah, yeah, te well, for him, I feel like he should be those are the 2 options. Either he it kills himself or
He's
he
too
goes to jail.
narcissistic to kill himself.
There you go.
He's way too narcissistic to kill
Yeah.
himself. He never would have killed
But
himself.
here's the thing. If you let him live, you're giving the people faith that there will probably be a sequel or another uh or another season. That's
Well,
basically their finals.
this is the final season, though.
Yeah, and that's basically you don't want to give the people hope that if he lives or gets away, right? You're giving that the benefit of the doubt that yeah, he's going to live on, and then we're going to have like a sequel or somewhere down the line.
Well,
That's or a spinoff somewhere down the
I
line. Yeah.
I don't even think that having him get away with it would have necessarily make people think that there would be another sequel. We have had seasons or series end on cliffhangers many times in the past and
Yeah.
it be done, right?
Hmm.
Um, like I can think of a show right now. I mean, I honestly cannot remember really how it ended, but I remember vaguely it ending on a cliffhanger and that was it. That was done. And again, if people are interested in watching that show, it's called Imposters. It's
Mm.
actually on Netflix. It
Yeah.
is chef's kiss. It is an amazing show. I enjoyed it, but I watched it like when it
I
first
feel
aired.
I feel like when shows finish on a cliffhanger, most shows believe that it might get like picked up again, or they just did like a mistake towards the end or didn't know that they're gonna get canceled, etc. All that stuff. So uh yeah, that's why I feel like a lot of shows like leave a cliffhanger right towards the end. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So
it, but it can be done, you know?
hmm
It
hmm
can be done.
hmm
Um, and the show not necessarily come back.
hmm
Um, but then again, like it's kind of the thing to do is shows end and they come back. Like I think Criminal Minds, for example, as an example of that, and there's other shows that's done that recently as well. And but I don't think that would have happened. Like this is a book, so I don't know if or like I don't even know if it's a series necessarily, if it's like one book, but stuff like this does have to come to an end eventually. You can't keep
hmm
it going.
hmm
Um, but I've actually saw this more of like a fan fiction type thing, which I think would actually be a really interesting idea, is Henry. We do a TV show or a TV series based off of Henry and kind of what happens to a child when he's the offspring of a serial
Mhm.
killer. And not only that, he's the offspring of a serial killer, but his
See,
mother was ill too. So
see,
that would be interesting.
yeah, it would be interesting, but see, you're gonna be asking for Joe again, and I don't think
I
he
think
would want to come back.
yes, but I
See,
think not in the same capacity.
mhm,
It would be different because, like, if he were now, again, I want to point this out. Um, he does understand and sees what's going on and does confront Joe on what he's hearing. And not only that, but what he actually ends up doing to Kate. So I'll leave it there. But he does confront Joe on that and says, like, basically, I never want to talk to you again. But again, this is a child who's like 8 years old. So it would be interesting to kind of see like what would happen. And if Joe comes back in any capacity, it would be like a prison visit, you know? And even if that were to happen, I don't think it would be right away. I think it would be something that's kind of like, if it were to happen, it's like maybe the end of a season, maybe into the next season, and like that's it. But the main focus being on Henry. So I think that would be an interesting idea. If they do that, it won't be anytime soon. But yeah, I think that would be interesting if they were to do that. But I don't know. It is, I think, satisfying to see Joe
mhm,
get his comeuppance. I
mhm,
will say
mhm,
that
mhm.
because I'm not a true psycho.
Right.
But I think, honestly, like I said, I felt like for me as a viewer, I felt like this should have gone one of two ways, and that is either he gets away with it or he is killed, not by his own hand, by somebody else. Because, like I said, he is too narcissistic to do it to himself.
Mm,
Um, and honestly, if I were to pick one or the other,
mhm,
where I feel that finality, it would be someone kills him.
mm,
That would have been, but I think it would have. It feels bad to say that because he is ill.
mhm, mhm,
He's very ill.
mhm,
He's has a lot of demons that he never worked through, and this was his way of working through it, which is not the right way to go about it.
mm.
But I think that would have to be the way it had to go because
Right.
obviously, yes, he is very fixated on women, and once he fixates on a woman, he is insane about it. So obviously, this would have been a cycle. It would have continued, and yes, it would have had that feel of, well, I want to see that. Um, so I think really the only way it should have gone is he gets killed.
Right.
Um, it just didn't feel right that after all of this time,
Mhm.
Joe goes to prison. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway,
Okay.
that's how it ends.
Mm. All right. Okay. Maybe down the road they might, if they think about making a spinoff, possibly,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
probably like 5 years down the road. I don't know, possibly.
yeah.
So
It is be
we'll see.
interesting to kind of see like how Henry kind of bodes as
Hmm. Hmm.
an offspring of these two crazy people,
Hmm.
um and Kate's pretty stable for the most part, and would that have been successful in his upbringing? I don't know. So
Oh.
yeah, and he knew his mom was ill. He didn't know the details of what happened in
Hmm.
terms of Love's attacking Joe,
Hmm.
but he knew she had a mental illness. Like he knew that. So it would be interesting to kind of know like what he would turn out as. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So this ends this Netflix episode on of the Next Take podcast. The Next Take podcast is available now on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanika.
Next take podcast.podpage.io.
And where else are we at, Tanika?
Facebook and Instagram and Next Take Podcast, and Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and Next Take Pod.
And you can email us at Mikel and Tanyka at gmail.com. That is Mikel and Tanyka at gmail.com. So basically, we just talked about our our top three Netflix and notables and what is to come on Netflix for this on Netflix monthly episode of May. Next month will be June, so later we're gonna most likely do one on June.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Unless Tanika has anything else to show.
No,
Oh, okay. All right.
That's it.
All right. So I'm Mikhail and
I'm Tanika.
we're out until
Tomorrow.
All right. Peace, guys.
Bye.